13 on your sidelines. Your team, your turf. Witness high school football. Jacob Seuss, Yao Bansu, 13 on your sidelines. Sponsored by Rant Insurance.
Back again.
That's good stuff.
I was gonna do the little.
That's good stuff.
I think they got it covered. They don't need it.
They
They don't need it.
They don't need it. Somehow, Yao, whatever we did last week, they let us come back
It rubbed off.
for another week. They decided to let us return for week 2.
We went crazy last week.
We're
But
back.
it was our first show, so we had to go wild.
We're back for more fun. It's a week 2 edition of 13 on Your Sidelines. I'm Jacob Seuss.
And I'm Yao Bansu. We have a lot of action to get to. We have a lot of matchups. Every matchup you're about to see in this first block has been a game of the week matchup at least once in the past few years.
But we could only have one tonight. First things first, though, we're going to introduce our guests, the cheerleaders from Byron Center High School. Let's hear it, ladies. All right, pretty good. We know they're going to get louder throughout the show.
Yeah.
Last year, South Christian and East Grand Rapids gave us one of the most exciting games of the entire 2023 season.
That's right. The Sailors took the lead with 36 seconds left in the game, but then the Pioneers won the game on a last-second Hail Mary. We chose this as our game of the week, hoping for similar excitement this time around. Both of these teams came into tonight off of impressive Week 1 wins. The Pioneers came out firing. Opening drive, Carson Thornton finds Will Cannon on the swing pass. He gets free down the sideline for a big gain. And a few plays later, Tyler Blake, he's going to take the handoff, and he took the handoff and reached right across the goal line for a 7-0 lead. Next Pioneers possession, Thornton finding Gavin Buck on a swing pass to the right. He cuts it up before heading up the sideline as he gets all the way into the opponent's territory down to the 2. That would lead to a keeper for Josh McCunn. You heard his name last week a whole bunch. It led to a 14-0 lead. But the Sailors responded in a big way. Carson Viss goes up top to one of his favorite targets, Tyler Brink, for a huge gain. A few plays later, Viss finds Chuck DeHaan in the end zone to cut the lead to 7, and the Pioneers will get the 2-touchdown lead back before half as Thornton rolls to his left. And right here, you're going to see one of the best passes of the entire game. An absolute beauty to Isaac Mulder.
Right in the bread basket.
That was beautiful. That gave the team a 20-7 halftime lead. Second half, Viss and Brinks hook up again on a crossing pattern. Brinks takes it deep into Pioneer territory. That drive ends with Viss scrambling before finding Owen Burgess, who dives into the end zone to make it 20-14. Next Sailor drive, Viss is scrambling again before he rolls right and finds DeHaan alone in the end zone to take the lead 21-20. Viss would extend the lead to 9 in the fourth quarter with a keeper from 14 yards out. Look at him, he's going absolutely crazy. What a pass. You can kind of see him improvising. He looks kind of Mahomey, if you will. And here we go with Thornton. He would get the Pioneers back within a score on their next drive. But first you see this beautiful keeper. Of course, Carson Viss. He's probably going to be.
He had a game.
He's
South Christian,
probably going to be
quite
an
the
MVP.
comeback in them tonight.
Thornton would get the Pioneers back within a score on their next drive as he puts the pass over the defender's fingertips to find Buck to make it 29-28. Viss and the Sailors will put this one away though, as he finds Brinks yet again a stride for another touchdown, a 35-28 lead. Isaac Osterhaven would add some insurance on this run up the middle as South Christian wins 42-28, and Carson Viss was the man of the show.
Just one of those guys. I mean, when the moment's big, he wants the ball in his hands, he wants to make plays, he just does things that you don't coach. I mean, some of the stuff he's doing, like, we get zero credit for that. It's all him. We threw him in on defense. It's good. But I think at the end of the day, and he'll tell you the same thing, it's about the team. You know, as good as Carson is, there's a lot of guys that stepped up and made a lot of great plays for us, and I'm just proud of him.
I wonder how likely it is that he's our MVP next week.
We might see him here next week. What a game we had. South Christian, there's a reason they've been to Ford Field 2 years in a row. They had a comeback in them tonight. Props to EGR. They beat South Christian last year, had the lead tonight. That's a team that went 7-3, looking to take a step forward this year. They maybe still have a little bit more work to do, though.
A little bit more work to do, but then again, when you're facing Carson Viss, anything can happen, and we saw it in that dominant win. But meanwhile, last year, Rockford and Muskegon faced off for the first time in a decade.
It was a highly anticipated matchup that saw the Rams score early and win decisively. Maybe tonight would be a revenge game for the Big Reds. Let's head out to the stadium. That good boy ready for a big showdown, and so were the Rockford students. This place was packed. Second play for scrimmage for the Rams. Isaac Poot, we lose him in the camera, gets the carry. Nobody is catching him. The GVSU commit straight up the gut, 75-yard touchdown run to give Rockford the early lead. Looked like they might run away with things, but they didn't. The Rams get the ball back, though, once again in Muskegon territory, but the Big Reds flip the script. The pass picked by Kashawn Hinkle. A little room to run that would set up the Big Reds offense right around the 50, and Muskegon would capitalize later on the drive. James Young to Nell Lawrence. He does the rest, makes one man miss, throws up the stiff arm down the sideline. Just like that, we were tied at 7. It was beautiful. Under a minute to play in the half, Rockford faced with a 4th and 13, but Brent Cummings trusts his offense. Braden Daniels right down the middle to Dylan Cross. Huge play there. The Rams take a 14-7 lead into the half. They go on to win this one 28-21. Yeah, last week, Rockford, they had a big win after scoring on their second play from scrimmage tonight. On the sidelines, I thought they're going to do it tonight. They're going to run away with things once again. Props to Muskegon, another tough test for them. They lost, but they stayed in this one.
Yeah, don't count out Muskegon, though. Last year, it started the season 0-2 and ended up making it all the way to Ford Field and winning a state title. So don't count out the Big Reds just yet.
Now we're going to head to the game our new friends from Byron Center have been waiting for. Let's hear it. Byron Center.
The school's Bulldogs took on the Falcons from East Kentwood tonight in a battle of 1-0 teams. It was the first time since the 1960s that EK made a road trip to face BC, and we start things off with the first drive of the game. Landon Tungate is going to roll out and find Isaac Lee deep. Touchdown, Bulldogs. East Kentwood, you got mossed. What a catch. The PAT would be no good. Byron Center up 6-0, but Lee was not done there. East Kentwood punting on his first drive of the game, which led to the senior running it all the way for his second touchdown of the game. PAT is good, 13-0. East Kentwood.
Putting the special in special
teams. Oh,
teams.
yeah, and he was talking to me in the camera. Midway through the second, Tungate on a reverse bootleg finds Luke Laska, who's going to absorb a big hit. Goodness, but still finds the end zone. PAT is good. Byron Center up 20-0. The team had good vibes all night, evidenced by the worst Dougie you will ever see in your life. Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie. But you want another touchdown for good measure? Who else? Tungate finding his favorite target yet again. Isaac Lee, his third touchdown of the half. That guy's a monster. Byron Center led 36-0 at half and ended up winning in dominant fashion. Bulldogs take the 42-20 win. The dance moves, that's not how you
They could
Dougie.
Probably take some moves from our
cheerleading
friends.
lessons. Yeah, that Dougie was
could have another
absolutely
MVP candidate.
It's all in the shoulders too. You gotta.
All right,
hit it.
I'm gonna have you do the highlights, and we'll.
They were laughing, so clearly my dance
away.
moves weren't that great. But anyway, let's get back to more football action. Last year, the OK Blue Conference Championship came down to a game between West Catholic and Coopersville.
Yeah, it was a field goal on the final play of the game that gave West a 17-14 win. This year, the OK Blue is no more, though. But these two decided to still play again in a non-conference showdown. The Broncos hosted this one, looking for their first win against the Falcons since 2019. Second half we go. Junior Augustin Grady with the keeper. 29-yard score. This would put West Catholic up 49-22, starting to run away with things. Coopersville, though, trying to dig themselves out of the hole here. Bo Harris, one of the best quarterbacks we have here in the state, has all the time in the world, and check this out, shows off the absolute cannon, and credit to the offensive line there. He hits Brooks Hayden for 63-yard touchdown. The Broncos, though, would need to string together a couple stops if they wanted to get back into this one, but the Eagles had other plans. Grady hits Connor Oleski on the crossing route. It's a little shake and bake, 51-yard gain, and he would get his team deep into the red zone. A couple plays later, Cam Inbody takes it from the 15 out, and that would do it. The Eagles rout the Broncos tonight 63-28.
63-28. That's a massive blowout. You know what I've noticed? A lot of QB keepers among the teams. The QBs won all the glory.
I will say enjoy that, because when we get later in the show, a lot of defense. So 63 points, we're going to take that and run.
But I guess that's the cheese of what's coming up next. But before all of that, we're going to meet our first 13 On Your Sidelines MVP of the week, and see the look on his face the moment he found out.
Plus, they used to face off on a regular basis, but tonight, the first battle between Kent City and Godwin Heights in quite some time.
And later on, Jenison and Forest Hills Northern face off in another battle of 1-0 squads.